This program is brought to you by the Media Liberty Alliance Foundation in cooperation with OBBM Network TV, bringing citizen-led, creative local media to the forefront of local communities to foster a greater understanding of constitutional liberty and appreciation of what makes us truly free, starting with you and me.
Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. That way you're updated each time fresh content comes out. And thank you for being part of the Zach Ratliff Show.
The Zach Ratliff Show is brought to you by Mortgage Financial in Texarkana, Exceed Health Clinic on Mull Drive in Texarkana, Elmwood Custom Goods, and Church on the Rock, Texarkana. That's churchontherock.org.
Hello and welcome to the Zach Ratliff Show. I'm Zach. This is Tabitha. What's up?
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fantastic this morning.
Thank you for being here.
Of course.
I want to start off by saying thank God for another day. Thank God for a beautiful day. But it is Friday. Now, I don't know when everybody's going to listen to this, but it is Friday, so I'm glad to have it. So, Tabitha, what's up? Tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and then we can even talk about how we met and
Sure.
and all these things. So, who's Tabitha?
So my name is Tabitha Smith, and I'm a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that for a couple of years. I'm also a law enforcement officer. That's just kind of my day job.
Right.
Have been for 17, 18 years at local law enforcement.
Right.
And so once I got into doing bodybuilding, I just kind of didn't really know that I wanted to be a personal trainer, but I was asked and prompted, so I created a business to be able to do that, and it's called TK Smith Fitness.
Okay. You know, I've recently, so when I met you was on election day.
It was.
And we spent a solid 12 hours together talking to people and, you know, pointing at our signs and all the things and just kind of hanging out, and to go from not knowing each other to, hey, this is my friend.
Exactly.
And of course, you know, the area here is, you know, it's small town, less than 100,000 people. You know everybody I know, and I know everybody you know.
Yes.
And that's kind of how it works. So common connections, then people would stop and talk to us. So anyway, we were talking about your bodybuilding, and one of my other buddies, a big bodybuilder, and in that, and I spent a lifetime in the gym, and by my schoolgirl figure, you can't tell that I did, but it really ignited my, I need to go back to the gym.
You've been killing it.
I have been, and love it. And I was like, when I leave every day, I'm like, oh yeah, I do like this. Yeah. You know, but it's kind of, we can get in such bad habits and just talk ourselves out of things that you think it's and it is. You're tired and you've done stuff, but it's okay. That's what we're supposed to feel like. But now that I'm going back, of course, I can feel the endorphins starting to kick in. I can feel the energy level come up. I can feel my overall energy throughout the day increase. I'm like, okay, this is why we do this.
Yes.
And so, but it all started from just a conversation with you, and you weren't hard selling me on, hey, you got to worry about your fitness and all this. It was just, this is life, right?
Yes. Once we start building those habits, it's so much easier because we always rely on motivation, and motivation isn't anything. It's consistency and building those habits.
Yeah.
And that's what I would want to teach people how to do.
Well, and my motivation was just talking to you about it and then remembering, okay, I do like, because with my dad, we're in the gym my entire life. I can remember being 4 and 5 years old. We'd get up at 4:30 in the morning. I'd go to the gym with him. I remember the first time I was able to pick up a 45 plate as a little kid and put it on the bar for him, you know, and so then we worked out religiously my entire life. And then by the time we're getting to high school, I remember one time that we were warming up on bench that day. We'd already done our cardio. We'd already done our warm up, and then we just went into cardio after that. And we're just warming up on bench. So we just had a plate on each side, 135 pounds. I knock out 10. He knocks out 10. Well, anyway, this guy comes by who we know, but you know, he's like, oh, why y'all doing that lightweight? So he puts another plate on each side. And we're like, okay. And so then he gets 10. then Dad gets 10, then I get 10. But now it's a competition. And Dad goes, okay, let's keep going. The guy goes, yeah, what else are you going to do? We're going to put a 25 on there? He's like, no. So we put another plate on each side. So now we're at 315. And so Dad does 10, I do 10. Then we look at this guy and he's like, I can't do that. And then we're like, we're going to go back to our workout then. We can keep stacking these, but you just happened to catch us at the warm up and wanted to have a contest all of a sudden. And like, but not, and obviously not everybody in the gym's that way. And this was a playful thing, but we're like, let's roll these dice and just see who can keep stacking plates. And so, that was just it's a fun memory for me in the gym of don't be that person in the gym.
Well, I love all the you call them gym bros.
Oh,
whatever,
yeah, for sure.
But I personally go to Legends. I love it. I see the same people every time I'm there.
Right.
I mean, I'm there a lot, especially now, but it's just such a welcoming environment. And most gyms around here are exactly that.
That's what I was just telling somebody this morning. And then I made this comment the other day. I said, there's two places you should be able to show up and feel comfortable with who you are, and everybody knows you're working on something else. Mm-hmm. And that's the church and the gym.
That's right.
And you should be able just to show up. This is who I am, and I'm trying to get better.
Right.
In both of those places.
Yep.
And there should be people to encourage you there and say, this is, maybe don't do it this way, maybe do it, but in a loving.
Exactly. For progress.
For progress. For the betterment of yourself and people around you.
Yes.
And so that's what I've always felt like the gym was. But like I said, I grew up in the gym. I've never been intimidated by going to the gym. I've never, because that's always been a safe space for me. And so, that's kind of where I'm back at. So how did you get into being in law enforcement? You probably always had to be in shape and all the things, but at what point were you like, you know what, I'm going to go into the bodybuilding. I'm going to tone down. I'm going to cut it up. All the things that come with this. It's not just go work out every day. There's a lot more to it.
Well, I think I'm really just like every 40-year-old woman. Ever since in my 20s, we've gained and lost the same 20 pounds. So once you figure out the combination, and the combination is nutrition.
Right.
When you add nutrition into strength training and cardiovascular training, it's a real whole game changer.
Well, that's what my dad's always told me. He goes, hey, man, you can't outwork the fork.
You cannot.
He said, the best workout you can do is push-aways.
That's right.
Which is true, and I know it to be true, but that's exactly right.
Right. It's a delicate balance. It's not you really denying yourself. It's just, again, creating better habits than what we were.
Right.
So it's like a 80-20 scenario. Nobody's going to do 100% every day all the time.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah. And miserable.
But when you do 80-20 and you have someone to guide you through that process, it makes it a lot easier, and you create those habits to sustain you for the rest, of your life.
Right.
Because we're counting down days now. Like, we're in our 40s. Like,
we need to be healthy.
It's time to get serious.
That's exactly right. Yeah, that's what I'm like. All right, I got to stop screwing around,
It's time to get serious.
Well, and I think that was a lot of my problem, and I bet that's going to be, for some of the listeners, is, 20s through mid-30s, I could gain or drop 30 pounds in a month or less. It wasn't any problem because I knew how to work out and I knew what to do. But then it's like, but the eating habits weren't good, which is your nutrition piece.
Yes.
Well, then once you just stop going to the gym, those bad eating habits, they bankroll you. It's a problem.
Yes. It just comes right over the top of you. And if you don't get it and get those habits back in order and that guidance, and a lot of people do need guidance.
For sure.
And you can go at it alone, but it's just easier if you have someone to kind of do weekly check-ins with you, and things like that. And it's not just about weight. It's also about measurements and progress photos. If you do a progress photo and you start, and then 6 weeks later you're doing a program and then you see this progress, you can go back and physically look and you're like, well, I didn't really lose that much weight, but look at my shape. My body composition's different.
Well, so that's why I wore this shirt today. So 4 weeks ago, I was not comfortable in this shirt, and I haven't tried it on until this morning. But I've noticed that my weight's dropped a few pounds, and so that's good. But I've noticed, and I'm like, I think I'm trimming up. But, you're the only one that sees you. Everybody's not measuring you in their eyes every time they see you, And I'm like, let's just put the shirt on. If it feels good, I'll wear it. And if not, I'm not going to be upset about it because this is a long-term thing.
Right.
I put it on. I'm like, hey, I'm wearing this shirt. Well, that's a win. That's a win to celebrate.
Yes.
And so that's what and honestly, Tabitha, what you've done is anytime you see my picture, you like it and then say, hey, good job.
Absolutely.
That means the world.
I am so proud every time I see, somebody posting, I'm here, I'm putting in the work. I'm like, this is fantastic.
Right. And really, I'm usually just taking a picture so I can stop and catch my breath.
And it's great. It's also motivation for other people.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not bragging rights. It's nothing like that. It's, I'm here. Look what I have carved out of my day to get taken care of because I know I need that for my health.
When I saw you talking about TK Smith Fitness, that day you had your laptop out and we're outside in the sun. It wasn't hot, but you're outside and you've got your stuff and you're making your schedule and you're planning and you're writing meal plans for people. And I'm like, this is someone who cares about what her clients achieve.
Absolutely.
And that's what, other than you just seeming to be an awesome person, that's go you. That's what radiated through that whole day was you cared about people. And then, like I said, we knew a lot of the same people, so that helps too. So kind of walk me through somebody listening or watching, which, side note, especially locally, we're a nationwide show, so we're in 37 states and 12 countries. That being said, we have obviously started local, have a lot of local listeners.
Yes.
Like over 50% of my listeners are women.
Mm-hmm.
So that's who we're talking to here. Let's say somebody comes in and like, hey, I am a 40-year-old lady.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to maybe not fit back into my prom dress, but feel good about myself.
Yeah, sure.
What's step one with that? How kind of walk us through the process? Does that make sense?
Yes. So step one would be, for instance, if this particular person were to reach out to me and say, hey, what do I need to do to start? Well, the first thing that I would say is, okay, well, are you comfortable in the gym? Do you like working out at home? What kind of workout equipment do you have at home or are you willing to get? Just something as simple as dumbbells and maybe some bands and maybe some kettlebells.
Right.
So I would start creating a plan that they can work out at home. I have an app that has my logo and everything on it, and it has all the workouts with videos on there. And then also I would create a meal plan based on height, weight, age, and goals specified specifically for that particular person. And we would start.
Okay.
So every Saturday we would do check-ins. So we would always do, I have in my app, you would upload progress photos and your weight and measurements. And then I would go and adjust your meals and I will adjust your workouts so that we can continue to make progress.
Right. And so then are you going to their house to work out with them at first? Is that an option? Or are they coming to you kind of?
It is an option. Typically I have some people that want to start in the gym because they're uncomfortable in the gym. So I do in-person at Legends, and then I also do in-person at Sling Fit Texarkana on East 9th Street beside the 82 Eats. And so I have two different locations that I go. But I do have one client that I do go to her garage. She has small children.
Right.
And really good friend of mine now.
Right. Yeah.
And so I'll go to her house twice a week, and I will work her out right there in the garage with the kids and everything.
Man.
And I'm able to do that. And then, and so I'm really thankful that I'm able to do that for her. And so that is an option. Of course, I'm one person, so it's just kind of as we go. But I do in person as well. And then I also teach hot hit classes.
What's a hot hit class?
Hot hit class is, the room is about 95 degrees.
Oh.
And we do strength training and cardio.
And the hit is the cardio. You're moving to keep your
constantly moving.
Keep your heart rate as you're going, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, at one point when Minton Sportsplex was a thing, they had the light, and so there was a light, and every time it flashed was when and they didn't advertise it either. You knew what it was or you didn't. But every time the light would go off, you switched stations. and that's how you knew when it was time to do your hit. And so, and it was just like an old school when you see in movies where they put on top of the police cars.
Yes.
It was hanging. It was hanging down, just kind of over off a beam. And when that light would go off, that was time to move your station.
I have heard about the light.
And so, but that was, because that's what I'll tell people. Hey, I'm gonna jump in here and get 15 or 20 minutes of cardio. Then I'm just gonna keep this rolling for an entire workout. Because I'm not, not anymore. I'm not trying to gain mass, not trying to gain strength necessarily, but it's more of a cardio. But I want to work out too because I like that. That's the fun part. I hate cardio, but
Nobody likes cardio.
But it's the necessary part.
It is necessary.
So if I can work that into my actual workout, then it's fun.
Yes, all my girls will tell you they all have to do cardio.
Right. Now, do you suggest, because I've heard two different camps on this. Some people say do your warm-up, workout, and then cardio at the end. And some people just say knock out cardio first and go work out. So where are you on this?
I am... Okay, so there's two ways to approach that. You can do a fasted cardio in the morning, and then you can do your weight training later because you need to eat complex carbs, obviously, for energy before you work out. Yeah. And when you do fasted cardio, you're not eating anything. So that's one option. The other option, and it's usually by time, you would go do your weight training and you would have already eaten your complex carbs. And then after your weight training session, then you would knock out your cardio directly after that.
Right.
There's two options there.
Okay. Well,
it all revolves around food, see?
Right. Well, and that's the trick, right?
Yes,
And that's what most of it, because I mean, I hadn't eaten yet today and I've already done cardio and weight training. So probably not good, but also I've got some reserves, so we can burn those. So you were into fitness. Then when did you decide I want to be an actual bodybuilder? Like, how did that work?
So I went through a rough spell, kind of a grieving spell kind of thing, and not really depression, but it kind of got me, some things in life knock the wind out of you, and it's for you to take a different direction, right? So that's kind of what happened with me. And so I got into Legends real hard, and then I dropped. I dropped so much, and then I was like, I can't be a cardio bunny. I'm like skinny fat. Like I have no muscle mass on me. Like I'm like wiggling around here where I got to do something. So I just started working out, doing weight training on my own for about 6 months. And then me and a couple of gals that I met there said, hey, we want to do a bodybuilding show. I was like, interesting.
Well, let's do that.
So let's do that. So we started training and all of that stuff. And my first one was last September. I got a first place and 3 second place.
On your first show?
On my first show.
I mean, that's amazing.
I worked my booty off for that.
I guarantee
you. It was the most craziest thing in the world, but I learned so much, and mentally working out is so good.
Yeah.
It is so good. I wish people would get off the medication and just get in the gym.
Right.
It would be a whole thing. Like,
there's just a mental clarity that comes with it, and like I said, I've been back ever since the week that I saw you. Now, so I don't know, a month.
Yeah.
And I just forgot how people talk about brain fog or the haze, and but that clears it all up.
It does.
And even now.
The Zach Ratliff Show is brought to you by Mortgage Financial in Texarkana, Exceed Health Clinic on Mall Drive in Texarkana, Elmwood Custom Goods, and Church on the Rock, Texarkana. That's churchontherock.org.
When I'm on the treadmill, and I'm not, I'm not going at level 8, we're just getting through it. But I've got my Bible app going. I do my daily Bible reading while I'm there, and that generally takes me, because I'm a slow reader, so that takes me 10 to 12 minutes. Well, then by the time I'm through with that, well, hey, I'm on the downhill slide, and I can motivate myself most of the time.
You're already in it.
I'm like, hey, I'm over halfway. Let's you hit the 15-minute mark. Like, okay, you're almost there.
Right.
Like, let's just keep going. And so I have to find little things like that in the gym. All right, man, that 3 minutes went quick. Let's get another 3. And I just have to keep the self-talk, because if I don't, I'll just get distracted.
You really got to lock in on something.
Right.
Like, it's a whole mental game, but it also, I think that's part of it that helps with the mental game, is you're forcing yourself, okay, self, we got to do this. We got to get this done. Let's hit it.
Right. And so after that, then you come out, and as you're thinking about things throughout the day, you have a clarity of thought. And I'm no scientist. I'm just a guy who talks on podcasts, but it seems to work. It seems to just clear everything up. Am I crazy?
No. I think that's part of the addiction to going to the gym.
I wouldn't say I'm addicted yet, but I'm getting there.
I think you are. You're always there now.
I am there. I am there a lot.
Well, you're definitely creating a habit, and so that's it.
Well, because I created the wrong habit the other way. And now my little girl starts saying, hey, did you go to the gym today? I sure did. How'd you do? And so I want her to know that no matter what, we can go to the gym, we can do hard things, because I've never shied away from hard things.
Right.
So when's your next competition?
It's going to be November the 14th.
Okay.
In Oklahoma City.
Oh, well, that'll be good. So when you're doing this prep, if I can remember correctly about a bodybuilding, like right now, there's very specified weight classes that you're trying to hit.
Yes.
But until then, a lot of people do you bulk up first and then trim back down? Like, what's your strategy?
So,
because I only know it from the male perspective, so I don't.
Yeah. So my coach, I am coached by a wonderful bodybuilder. His name is Mason Shucker, and he is from Conway, Arkansas. So shout out to him. Much love. He's awesome. So we've decided together that I will be competing in the division, the figure division instead of the bikini division. So it's a lot more muscle mass and a lot more upper body.
Right.
So he kind of tweaked that, just kind of the way that my body naturally grows and how we're pushing.
Right.
But bodybuilding prep is about 20 weeks before the show. It's very, very strict and regimented. And then that's when the weight kind of goes down. Right now, I'm kind of I'm not really bulking.
Right.
I'm just trying to build as much muscle mass in between shows. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now. So even though my food is very strict still during the week, he does allow me to have, we call it a cheat meal, but it's just like a dose of reality. And so I'm able to maintain that until we start prep, probably the beginning of August or something for show.
Right. One thing I grew up with, and I was taught from early age, but even though, like this morning, I had the wooden poles, and I'm stretching out, and I've got my arms over it, and then I'm doing my side, and then I'm stretching my legs and everything. I wasn't even doing legs today. It didn't matter. But I was always taught length of muscle equals more strength.
That's true.
But especially in bodybuilding, when you start stretching, a lot of those bodybuilders are crazy flexible that I've noticed.
Yes. I am not one. I need to stretch better, but
with the stretching comes definition.
It does.
I mean, and so that's what's always, of course, I just look crazy over there. I'll be, I stretch with the poles first, then I stretch with the bands so that it's really getting all of it in, and then, legs, and as you go there, but even what I told somebody the other day, I'm like, even if you don't want to really go do anything, walk into a gym and do a 15-minute stretch.
Yeah.
And then you'll be like, well, since I'm here and I'm already feeling better because you stretched.
Yeah.
That's so in the figure division, what is that? So you're gonna, what do you go? I mean, I can see your arms and your shoulders. So that's what and then you're trying to go for basically the V, right?
It's pretty equal, except for the upper body is a lot more dominant than the lower body.
Right.
But you still have your quad sweeps, and you still have your all of your definition of legs and things like that. It's just it's just upper body more, just a hair more dominant than lower body.
Okay. Favorite exercise?
My favorite exercise is hip thrust.
Okay.
On the hip thrust machine.
Yeah.
Because the reason is because it is so challenging for me that I really focus in on that because that's the hardest exercise that I've ever done in my life.
I've never, not one time, strapped into one of those. I've looked at them like, I don't know anything about that.
Well, here's your challenge.
I'll just be over there looking at it like, I don't know. My favorite is the, was it abductor, inductor?
Oh,
or
yes.
adductor, inductor?
Such a good stretch.
Oh, and I don't know. I enjoy that machine. I can see results off of it fairly quickly in my legs, and I've always been a fan of my quads. And, everybody that works out enough, I was like, oh, what's your favorite muscle group? Mine's always been my quads.
Yeah.
And so I can see results, triceps and quads, faster than I can see it anywhere else.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so maybe that's why I've always been like, yeah, I'll just do this and then get that working, right?
Yeah.
Well, so you got November coming.
Yeah.
So are you taking new clients now?
I am taking new clients.
Okay.
I'm taking online. I'm taking my in-person is a little booked, but I can still maybe squeeze one in. But I do have a boot camp,
Okay.
strength and conditioning boot camp that's coming up. That's going to start April the 7th at Sling Fit.
Okay.
And it's going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8:15 at night.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people don't like working that late at night, but when you work your body out, and then you're going to sleep so
I bet
good.
you sleep like a baby.
And the room isn't heated. It's not anything like that. We're going to be doing a lot of total body strength training exercises with heavy kettlebells, dumbbells, and bands. And there is limited spots available. So if you want to get signed up for that, you can message me at TK Smith Fitness on Facebook.
And then I'll tag you on my post and all that, and I'll make you I'll share the collaboration so you can share this and kind of get some of that. You know, in 2012 we ran a Tough Mudder, and and it was really just Dad goes, hey, they're having one of these races down in Austin. You think we could do it? I'm like, and that was in January, and I think it was in like August or September, or maybe even October. I'm like, yeah, we're not in shape for this. We better we better do that. And then my stepmom also got in shape with us, and so we just started doing. It wasn't CrossFit, but it was basically a good group of guys, and it was kind of like that in a daily gym. And of course,
Yeah.
you know, working out till you throw up every day, which is easy for me because I'm a puker. If I work out too hard, I'm gonna throw up. It's just it doesn't bother me. It's been that way my whole life, and so. You know, we're just doing these things. You're doing your kettlebells, you're doing your ball slams, you're doing your circuits, and you're doing all the things. And then you get to this Tough Mudder race, and it was, 13 miles, 26 obstacles. We got there, and I'm like, this is stupid. There's no way I can do it. and anyway, I walked most of it because it's 13 miles.
Yeah.
And anyway... We finished it,
That's
right? And the
awesome.
group of people we went with finished it, and I have a little headband hanging up in my living room, like
What an accomplishment.
yeah. And so somebody asked me, like, "You try to do another one?" I'm like, "No, I'm not going to try to do another one." But I'll be able to go hiking out at in the
Yeah.
Ouachita National Forest or something.
Yeah.
And so, but. I just remember doing that. That's what I was thinking of when you said this boot camp. That's what triggered that. Sounds like that type of workout. You're going to get some burpees. You're going to get some of this. You're going to, right? Is that where I'm at?
Well, we're not going to do burpees.
Okay.
We're just going to do like strength training stuff.
Okay.
But also with it comes nutrition guidance
Okay.
and check-ins. So I'm still going to hold you accountable because we're going to make some progress. 'Cause
Right.
I'm guaranteeing results on this.
Oh,
And that's how you do it. Is
the result guarantee.
The result guarantee.
Well, if people put in the work.
That's right.
Like I said, it's fun. It's fun. And getting to know you has been fun. And I think it would probably be an enjoyable class for someone to do.
I think it's gonna be community together, and we're gonna do it. And it's all personal. I'm gonna be making sure you're doing your exercises correctly, so we can get maximum effort.
Right.
And I'm gonna push you. So
You know, I don't remember when, but here's the thing. I was trying to compete in one of these classes too much, and it's been years ago. It was probably 2020, 2019, and I was trying to keep up, and it was like that. It wasn't necessarily a gym, but it was one of these full body keep going thing. But I didn't stretch good, and so I partially tore my quad.
yes,
And then that went into getting fascia in my hip. And then so what I'm going to tell people is make sure you stretch. And someone like you will say, hey, do what you can do. You don't have to do what the person besides you's doing. Do what
Right.
you can do. I mean, because
Yes.
that was not fun.
yeah. Protecting the back. A lot of people
yeah.
don't like put a slot bend in their knee when they're supposed to, when they're using their back or just snatching up a dumbbell. And you got to use your legs, not your back,
For sure. Yeah.
for lifts and stuff like that. So I'm always watching.
Well, and that's good. Well, do you have anything that you feel like before I go, I want to make sure this is mentioned?
We pretty much covered everything
Okay.
I think that we talked about.
Okay, so once again, how does somebody reach out to you?
They can message me on TK Smith Fitness on Facebook. And I'll be glad to take calls. I do a lot of FaceTime consultations with people. We can schedule those because I do offer lots of different. This is elite personal training. This
Right.
isn't just meet me at the gym. I'm going to throw you on a couple machines and then we're going
You
to do
see
this.
that, right?
I have been there with personal trainers in person and men. I've had men personal trainers and they don't focus on women muscles. They focus on
Right.
men muscles. I don't need I don't need to work out my chest.
Yeah, no.
Like 4 times a week. Like
Right. No one does.
women need women, in my
Yeah.
opinion,
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to tell
in
you.
person that doesn't know what to do. That's not a
Yes.
bodybuilder already to train in person so that eventually you can build those habits on your own and you can I want people to learn so that they can go without me, continue their habits
Right.
and pass on all this good information to other women.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't know how to train a woman. Now, if a guy came to me and says, "How do I gain strength and mass?" I would say more weight, less reps.
Yeah.
and that's the truth. Lots of breaks in between. You want to rip as much muscle as possible and have it regrow.
Right,
But when it
yeah.
comes to working out a woman's body, no idea.
Like a woman that isn't already in the gym should probably start with a woman to learn how to do all of that. I'm not against men training
No.
females, but because my trainer's a male, but I already am experienced in knowing what to do.
And there's a comfort level there. If you
Right.
hadn't been in a gym at all, go feel comfortable there. But once again, like we said earlier, people that are in there are gonna be welcoming.
Yes.
Now, if they don't talk to you, it's because they're in the zone.
Yeah.
If you need
Yeah.
if you need something, go tap them. Don't do it mid rep.
Rep.
Yeah, I mean, I've had that happen. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Okay, how many was that?
But once they finish their set, go talk to them, go tap them, and people will help you, especially in a
Yeah.
gym environment. I mean, has been my, of course, also as you know, and I think you're the same way. I don't often meet a stranger,
Right. You do not.
and you don't seem to either. So
Not particularly.
so there is some bias towards. I'm probably going to talk to you anyway if you're very close.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming in, Tabitha.
Of course,
I
thank you
certainly
for
enjoyed
inviting
this.
me.
Oh yeah. Keep us updated as we get closer to the show. Let's maybe do this again, and then
Sure.
we'll hear how it goes. I'm kind of interested in this journey now.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Zach.
thanks. All right, everybody. I hope God blesses each and every one of you today.